Hi, and welcome to Mark's Motivational Podcast for another Music Sunday episode. Today I'm delighted to be joined by another great singer-songwriter, Donna. Donna, you're very welcome on today, Donna. Thanks very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm delighted to be on your show.
Yeah, great stuff. So we'll probably just start the podcast off. If you wouldn't mind just telling the listeners a little bit about yourself and your background with music, would be great. Thanks.
Well, my name is Donna Dunne. I'm from Dublin.
Yeah,
I have been performing and writing for the last 10 years with some minor successes. And
great.
I toured a bit in America and I toured in Europe for a while. I'm a 50s girl at heart, really. I love rockabilly and blues and country and
Mm,
everything that comes with 50s music, but I also don't like to be pigeonholed, as in I write songs. It doesn't necessarily have to come from 50s. It doesn't have to be rockabilly, but that's where my roots is, I suppose.
hmm
And I I just released a new single, No Place Like Home, and
Yeah, it's a brilliant song.
oh,
Yeah,
thank you. And
yeah.
it's yeah, I started writing there. I took a break for 2 years. I was living in Spain, and that's where the song came from. I was living in Spain, and
Mm,
I came back from Spain, and I didn't want to proceed with music anymore. I was taking a break really, but I kind of felt that I kind of done what I could do,
mm.
and then after 2 years of lockdown, I just decided to get back into it again. And I wrote the song No Place Like Home.
Yeah, no, as I said, it's a brilliant, brilliant song. So it's going to be a treat for the listeners. I'm going to share the links to it on the show notes for people to listen as well, Donna. So thanks a lot for that sharing with me. And when is it being released? Is it released already or
Yeah, it was released on Friday.
okay?
So it's
Great stuff.
available on Spotify, and I did a music video. So it's
Mm,
on YouTube as well. So it'd be great if people
brilliant.
could go onto YouTube and check it out and subscribe if you can. That'd be fantastic. I'm after
Yeah.
reaching 1,000 subscribers today, so I was happy with
Oh,
that.
great. That's
It's
brilliant.
it, it's actually so hard to do. People wouldn't realize how hard it is to get
Mm,
people to subscribe to your YouTube channel, but it really is. It just means they get your notifications, and it's yeah. So then they can actually hear the music, because obviously Facebook doesn't promote you as well as you'd like to. So
mm.
just a better platform, basically.
Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, yeah. No, I wish you all the success as well. With your songs. And have you when did the journey begin for yourself, Donna, with your songwriting? Have you always written songs yourself?
I started writing when I think I was about 23,
Okay.
and I actually went into I was moving to London, and I was looking for a recording studio,
Mm,
and I I found a place on Camden Street, and it was this it was a very grungy studio it was, and I thought I was actually going
mhm.
to be murdered, I think, because it was down this back alley, and then this it was
Mm,
just very strange. But anyway, so I went to record I wanted to record a few cover songs with this guy, and then have it when I went to London, basically.
yeah.
And so I went there anyway, and while I was there, your man was like saying, Jesus, you've got a great voice, blah blah blah. So
Mm,
he just said, then anyway, we progressed, and he started playing his guitar or whatever, and then I just started writing melodies over it.
mm,
And he was like, oh, you can write songs. And I was like, no, I can't. I said, that's easy.
mm.
And yeah, so it just kind of happened from then, and I hadn't a clue what I was doing. I think we wrote about 50 songs in that studio,
Brilliant.
but I mean, I don't think any of them are any use now, like. But it just, I mean, I was just writing melodies, and lyrics were terrible. When I look back on them, I'm like, oh my god, I think I wrote a song about my cat. Like, it was just ridiculous stuff. But yeah, so that's I kind of started from there, and then I went on and I released my first song, Woman in Black, in
Mm,
2012. which
Yeah.
it got me compared to Imelda May quite a lot. So I
Mm.
mean, which is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
she's an amazing singer songwriter, an amazing woman.
Yeah.
But I suppose I wanted to have my own identity. But I loved that 50s kind of, when she came on the scene, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what I want to do. And
Yeah.
I suppose then it just happened that I started writing. I came out kind of the same time as she did, you know.
Mm.
And then after Woman in Black, as I said, I got some minor successes, and then I lived in London for a while, and I was working with a band over there. And then I went to America and I released my single Butterfly Baby, and I was touring over there for about 6 weeks. And then after that, I came back to, it's 10 years of little bits and pieces, you know yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But then I got approached by a record label then
Brilliant.
within, and that they were in the UK, but it was a psychobilly record label.
Mm.
So, and psychobilly is, I would call it hard rock. It's it's faster than rockabilly, basically,
Mm-hmm.
a bit of kind of punky kind of sound. And I suppose it was a bit of a challenge for me to do an album of that genre. So that's when I released my Voodoo album, and it was number one in the rock and roll UK charts.
Brilliant.
So yeah, and then we toured a little bit, but it was very short because the band lived in the UK, I lived in Dublin,
Mm.
so it was hard to get the band together. I I had an album launch which was fantastic, and but the sound wasn't very good, so I was a bit disheartened because the band, we couldn't rehearse together and stuff like that, so it wasn't as good as I'd want it to be. So it kind of knocks you a little bit, you know, when you put so much work into something, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go out and you perform in front of, I think there was possibly about 300 to 400 people at this show, and it
Great. Yeah.
wasn't the way I wanted it to be. So it kind
Mm.
of disheartens you, and it does make you want to just quit it because you try so hard, and then everything that you worked for to perform in front of all these people, the night doesn't go to how you think in your head.
Mm.
But nonetheless, I still kept going, and I toured then Europe then for a bit as a duo, as a two-piece, and then came back to Ireland, and that's where
Yeah.
no place like home came from.
Great stuff. Yeah. No, that's a great story, Donna. That's brilliant. And what's next for yourself as well? Have you any upcoming gigs yourself, Donna, in the next while?
I have a private gig, which is obviously no one can go to that, but I have a fundraiser in Stewart's Hospital on the 2nd of July, Saturday the 2nd of July. I think it's from 4 to 6. And
Great.
That's in Palmerston where I live. I used to work in Stewart's as well. So I said I do it
Oh
for
yeah.
them. But
Oh, fair play to you.
other than that, I don't really have anything because I'm kind of just concentrating on writing and recording, and
Mm.
I'm just enjoying that, to be honest, at the moment.
Yeah,
So
great stuff. Yeah. Yeah, no,
that's
that's
me.
brilliant. Like, yeah, no, that's great, Donna, because I love what you're saying about, the more songs you write, you're gonna hit on a few jams, aren't you? Like don't be afraid to keep keep writing, isn't it really?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's it's something that's just, it's either in you or it's not, you know. It's I
Mm.
just I love writing. If I could be in the
Mm-hmm.
studio 5 days a week, I won't say seven because that's a bit too much, but 5 days a week,
Yeah.
I would be. Obviously, like, I have the time, I work full time at present,
Mm.
so therefore it's trying to fit in. Obviously you have to write the song, you have to record it, you have to there's such a process with the whole thing, and you can't just
Mm.
sit down and write a song. I mean, it has to come to you, and you have to
Yeah.
have the right frame of mind and whatever, the
Mm.
right setting, blah blah blah.
Mm.
So it's just but yeah, I'll just keep plugging away and hoping
Yeah.
one day you might just have that one song and it'll
yeah.
it'll do well enough so I can quit my job.
Exactly, yeah. And
That's the
uh,
dream, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And well, like, do you find Spotify good? Like to have your music on Spotify? Do you find that's a bonus that do you, yourself, Donna?
Yeah, I have all my music on Spotify at the moment. Um,
Mm,
I I mean, it's great that people. I mean, obviously, people don't listen to CDs anymore. Really, I mean,
mm,
there are
yeah,
some. I have a CD, and people have bought it actually for my new
mm,
single.
yeah,
But yes, but Spotify is fantastic if you're,
yeah. Mm.
Alexa, put on Donna Dunne. Oh, I'm out. Alexa, stop. She's after she's after playing there. um,
Yeah.
but
Mm,
yeah, it's great.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some people, that I've talked to before, with they're saying the royalties you get are very small, from Spotify. Is there anywhere else you share your music? Because uh, does that one as well? The one that
Oh,
Camp
YouTube,
Bandcamp,
Bandcamp. Yeah.
Bandcamp. Do you use Bandcamp as your music on Bandcamp?
I did use Bandcamp, but you know what? I had so many. I actually only tidied it up recently because I was just everywhere. I was on absolutely everything. I was on Reverb Nation,
Okay,
Spotify, Bandcamp. I was kind of on too many platforms that I didn't know where I
okay,
was really. So just say
yeah,
people were, and then Facebook. There's just and Twitter. There's so many social media sites out there.
mm-hmm.
So I was kind of a little bit like, oh, what do I do here? So I just
Mm.
stopped Bandcamp. I did. I shut it down, and I just put my stuff on YouTube, and then I have a shop then on my website if you
Oh,
want to
that's
buy
good.
if you want to buy a CD or whatever. So at the moment, like royalties, I mean Spotify, it doesn't impact me at all at the moment because
Hmm.
I'm not I'm not anyone, let's be honest, as in I'm not
Yeah.
like I don't have a million streams or whatever like that. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
it is what it is. I'm just enjoying it at the moment, and
Ah, brilliant. Yeah, brilliant.
that's really it,
Yeah.
Mark.
Oh, no, yeah, no, that's great, Donna. Yeah, yeah, because I like I can hear Imelda May. Like a lot of people must say, you sound like you sound very alike. Because I love the voices. They're brilliant. Yeah.
And I don't think I sound like her at all. I genuinely
No.
don't. Everyone says that
No.
to me, and I'm always a little bit shocked because I don't know. I'm from Dublin. She's from Dublin.
Mm, yeah.
But yeah, sure. If I am, I am. It's a good
Yeah.
compliment.
It is definitely, yeah, great. And sorry, and who's your main influences yourself as well, Donna? Would you say, or your main influences? Because you said you love the '50s music.
Elvis
Elvis, of course,
is
Elvis.
my number one. I love a lot. I love Loretta Lynn. I love Johnny
Hmm.
Cash,
Oh,
Elvis.
Johnny Cash, brilliant, yeah.
I mean, anyone kind of from Gene Vincent. I kind of love everyone from that genre. I thought they were so natural, and
Hmm.
like this is where rock and roll came from because of these
Yeah.
guys. Like, so we wouldn't have our music today if it wasn't for these um you know creating
Yeah.
the music that they did. So I just love it. But as I said, I love loads of music. I mean,
Hmm.
I love songs. I'm not really a person that listens to albums. I love listening to songs. If I hear a song, I kind of in 10 seconds, if I hear a song and I like it, then. And I
Hmm.
love songs that tell stories. Like Johnny Cash would be a very storytelling sort of singer
Great.
songwriter.
Yeah.
And so the songs that I write, I love to tell a story. I don't like to just
Hmm.
write it. I love to tell like my experience, especially like
Hmm.
like No Place Like Home. It's my journey about how I love I loved coming home to the comforts of home, and it's it's what so there's no place like home really, and everyone can kind of relate
Hmm.
to that you can go abroad,
Yeah.
when you go abroad for 2 weeks and then you come home and you're just like, I love being home now and have a little cup of tea, and you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
and
The
you're with your
Lions tea,
family, and yeah, you're with your family. Tea doesn't taste the same when you're when you're at home. Sorry, when you're abroad, you know what I mean. You come home, you have your
Mm.
first cup of tea. You're like, ah, isn't that lovely now? Isn't that great? It's great to be
Yeah,
home, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. No.
So, so yeah. So I don't know where that went. Sorry, I don't even. What was your question? So I don't know where it went
Oh
with
no, it's
that.
grand. No, just no, 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 you did answer about your favorite because Johnny. I'll be with you there 100%. But Johnny Cash is some great like Jackson and all that kind of stuff. Is what a tune,
Yeah,
like you know.
yeah.
Yeah,
So that's I
uh,
just I just love story. I just love stories, and I
mm,
love
yeah,
obviously the beat and music and everything, but it's more
mm,
about the story that I love about writers and
mm,
uh but yeah, but loads of I could name so many, but there's no point in naming loads of different people.
yeah,
You know yourself. We'd be here
yeah.
all day.
Yeah, I don't know, just your main influences. No, that's great, Donna. Thanks very much. And would you? I don't know. I don't want to put you under pressure. Would you like to do a song for us tonight for the podcast, or would you be happy to
I
do that? Or
I don't have any instruments with me at the moment, so I wouldn't be
okay.
able to, unfortunately.
Ah, no problem, no problem. Maybe next time we could do. You could
Yeah,
do a nice one for the guests. You know, for the people who are listening. You know,
yeah, of
great
course.
stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Next time I
Yeah.
will.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
So thanks a million, Donna, for coming on, and definitely share your links so I can put them on the on the show notes for you as well. You know.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yeah. It's just I'm basically on all social media platforms, and it's just Donna
Yeah.
Dunne Music,
Donna Dunne
YouTube,
music. Yeah, great.
Facebook,
Mm,
Spotify. Yeah, just Donna Dunne Music. Yeah, you can get me there,
mm,
and my website as well.
yeah. And how did, it's just another question as well. How did you find COVID the last 2 years with your songwriting? Did you find it a bit of a struggle, or how did you find that yourself?
Well, when I came home, because I was living abroad in Spain for a while, and I came home in the February, and then COVID obviously hit in March, and I got a full-time job then when I came home from Spain. So it kind of just it. How can I put this? I enjoyed it because it was a break because I was
Yeah.
working so hard. I was working relentlessly for music for so long, and
Yeah.
COVID just kind of brought me back to just family life and just enjoying life rather than
Hmm.
putting so much pressure on myself. So in regards to that, I actually enjoyed COVID. But in
Yeah.
regards to songwriting, I didn't I didn't have any inspiration at all to write songs.
Okay.
I had no interest.
Mm.
I think I did one or two things on Facebook during COVID, but I had no interest. And then I think when things started opening up, I started to get back into it again, and now I'm enjoying it again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and
it's
people are
it's
enjoying
great.
your music as well. Your song is great. No place like home, and
Oh,
and
cheers.
and Keith as well. Keith McLaughlin, a mutual friend who set up this podcast. What did he kind of help you along with? Did he is he produced your music? Is it
No,
Donna?
Keith. I met Keith a very long time. I met him my first gig supporting Luan Pearl actually, and Keith was the person who organised that gig. And
Yeah,
Keith used to do, I think he did radio for Dublin South FM. I can't
yeah,
remember, but
that's right. Dublin City FM. Yeah,
was it
yeah,
okay? Yeah, so he did radio for that, and he just got me in, and we did an interview with him, and then I did the support act for her, and that's how I know Keith, which is, and he's a great guy, and he's great connections now, and he's after really since then he's after really building himself up
mm,
and works with great people and even writing songs himself, which is great.
yeah. Great stuff. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah.
And do you find as well, the way you're getting your songs on the radio, do you find that's helped you as well? Like that must be a boost for you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even with the subscribers that I'm after getting on YouTube, I think it was the radio because I think we got about 60 plus subscribers in the last 3 days,
Right.
and it was played on. You know what? There's actually a lot. There's a lot of internet radio and people are not tagging me, so I can't really see how many, but it's been played on
Yeah.
Dundalk FM and Dublin
Brilliant.
City FM, and I think it's going to be played on RTE, because it has been, I think it's put in the play, it's in the playlist, it's just needs to be played.
Right.
So I'm after getting
Yeah.
on to them again, saying, excuse
Mm.
me, why haven't you played No Place Like Home?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Keep at them.
keep at them. That's what you have to keep doing.
Yeah.
Just keep at people saying, please play my
Mm.
song. So
Yeah.
hopefully then it's just getting more ears on your music, and
Mm.
more people listening to you. I mean, it's such a hard industry to get
Mm.
people to hear you, and to get yourself known, because like the likes of 2FM and say 104 and Spin, like they only play chart music. So it's hard
Yeah.
for the likes of yourself or myself or Keith or whoever to get it. Now obviously
Mm.
your song has to be good. You know what I mean? You can't just be
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't be in a bedroom, you know, on
Mm.
a guitar and then saying, oh, this is a brilliant song. You have to produce something that's good. I might be blowing my own trumpet here, but I do love my new song, and you
Yeah.
know,
No, it's class.
it has to be produced in a right way, I think, to be put on air. But I don't think that Irish artists get enough airplay, that are
Mm.
unsigned, and I it's such a shame, really. I mean, even just trying to asking people, no one gets back to you. It's relentless. It's constant
Mm.
catching up with, oh, who do I have to contact now? And there's so much work. So the likes of Keith helping you out to do this, because I wouldn't have the time to be getting onto all these radio stations.
I know.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean? There's so many, like,
Mm.
and I mean, I wouldn't have met you if it wasn't for him. So it's great that even yourself, that you're plugging people like me,
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
and
Definitely. No.
it's helping each other out, I suppose, as well.
Mm. I said a great singer songwriter like yourself, of course, of course. But yeah, and could I just ask you as well, because it's kind of a motivational podcast, to just ask you a question. Kind of what keeps you kind of motivated in your writing and of your music?
Keeps me motivated. Uh, I, you know, it's such a hard question. No one has ever asked that. Not that I get asked a lot of questions, but
Yeah,
um,
and I'm sorry to put you on the spot.
no, it's absolutely fine. I like being put on the spot. I think I think it's just it's, you know, it's the interaction of people as well online,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
people that keep supporting you. Like, I mean, uh, I have a nice few supporters, say,
great.
on, and really do. They comment on every video.
Mm.
They they keep, and my family keep me going as well. Like
Yeah,
everyone always says, never stop, never stop, never stop writing songs. And
brilliant. Yeah.
you know, so I think the people who support me are my motivation. I mean, if I got like 2 likes on Facebook, and no one was writing comments, and no one was
Mm.
taking interest at all, I'd probably stop, because I'd say, I hear I'm
Yeah,
I'm not really
yeah.
doing very well here. No one seems to like this. But you're
Mm.
getting people who listen to it that are liking it. So that in itself
Yeah,
is motivating,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, thanks very much. Like, because you kind of get people listening to this as well, that kind of think what can kind of, sometimes when you're doing stuff like even writing songs or doing a podcast, and if you're not getting that support, like you say, you can kind of, say, what am I doing this for? So like that makes a lot of sense.
But you
Yeah.
do have to keep it. As I said, this industry is relentless. You have to keep going. You
Mm.
can't. I mean, the day you say, "Oh, I'm not doing," like I said that myself, I'm not doing again. But I kind of had it as I've taken a break. But you do
Mm.
just have to keep going and going and going. If
Yeah.
it's something that you really want to do, you'll do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
if it's
Yeah.
something that you just want fame, if you just want fame, then it's kind of the wrong.
Mm.
Obviously, it's kind of hard to put this. It's, you know, obviously you'd want money and fame. You want that. But if you're just doing it for that, then I think that's wrong. You know, because
Yeah.
you just have to have that passion, that real passion for it.
Big time. Yeah,
I
big time.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, no, definitely, absolutely. That's a great point. Great point. So, Donna, thanks very much for coming on. It's been great talking to you on the podcast, and then I'm going to share your music. So I'm looking forward to doing that as well.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And
Yeah,
sure,
yeah,
hopefully I'll talk to you again.
yeah. And wish you all the best success with your music as well
Cheers,
going
you too,
forward.
Mark.
Yeah. So that was Donna Dunne. Everybody, thanks a million, Donna, for coming on. So join us again for another podcast on Tuesday. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks, Donna.
Cheers, Mark.